Hello, this is Kim Coles, and for those of you who join me live, you're in for a treat, even though it's really, really late, wherever you are. Hi there, Kim Coles here, actress, comedian, author, speaker, coach, entrepreneur, and best friend in your head. Or not, but maybe, but I don't know. So I'm on late tonight because I worked today, and I'm fitting to tell you the story of what happened at work. So as you come in, say hello to me. Welcome, 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 Andrea or Andrea, however you say it. Welcome. I'm going to go real fast tonight because I know it's late. I do hope that you watch the replay, and I do hope that you share this with others because I've got a little lesson to share with you. I see Chris, I see Marilan, I see Joseph, I appreciate you. I see Joyce Black, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this week I am working on a show called In the Cut on Bounce TV. In the Cut on Bounce TV. It's a real fun show, and I'm playing a character who works in like a diner. And I get to wear a waitress uniform, which is really kind of cool. I'm going to put that picture up. I have the picture up on Instagram, but it'd be nice to put it up on Facebook as well. Welcome. Hello, Miles. Hello, Michael. Hello, Tamika. Hello, hello, hello. Rob, never late. Successful minds are always thinking. Yes, yes, hello. So I'm going to tell a story about what happened at work today. Hey, cousin Dana. How are you? What you doing up so late? Go to bed. I mean, after we play here together. How are you, cousin Dana? Hello. What's up, Ennis? I see you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. So I'm on this show called In the Cut. It's a real cute sitcom. I just have a minor role, and it's easy. It's like an easy show to do. I should say minor, meaning I'm like 8th on the call list. When you're number 8, you're just number 8. And sometimes you have less lines than you do some days, and it's all okay and it's fine. So last night I saw the script, and I didn't have any lines, but I was still in this scene because the scene takes place in the place where I work, and it's like a baby shower or wedding shower or something. And so I have to be there, but I didn't have any lines. And I had felt some kind of way about it, like, how you gonna hire Kim Coles and not give her no lines? But, for the continuity of the show, they needed me there. And then I get to work, and I realized that I did have one line. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad. Oh, we started sort of reading through the lines. The actors always get together and do sort of a little rehearsal in the hallway on this show. And they were like, Kim, that's your line. I was like, oh, I have a line. So it turns out I had one line in this one scene, which I still didn't feel too good about. Like, how you gonna have Kim Coles in your show and only have one line? Like, hello. So let me see if I get this straight. Let me just get you up to date, up to speed. I'm on a sitcom. It's the world that I love. I love the world of sitcom. I'm playing a character named Trish. She owns or she runs the diner. And in this particular scene, she only has one line. And they called me in to go to work to do that one line. Meanwhile, I'm in makeup. They're figuring out what I'm going to wear. It's like a whole lot of work to do for what I thought was no lines, and then turned out to be one. And then while we were in the hallway doing our little rehearsal, we realized that one of the actors who's supposed to be in the scene wasn't there yet. And they weren't sure what time he was going to come. And so all the things sort of go, all the producers started thinking, well, what are we going to do? Because that line needs to be said, because that moves the story along, but he's not here. And they're like, Kim, you take that line. And they fixed it up so that something I would say. And so I went to work thinking I had no lines, realizing I had one line, and then I was given 2. And then we start rehearsing and doing it. And the way it works is at the end of the scene, the bride throws a bouquet, and I try to catch it. And I won't give it away, but someone else catches it and something happens. And so it turns out that the writers kept feeding me lines that I could say at the end of the scene. So let me review. I went to work thinking I had no lines, realized I had one, was gifted a second line, and then ended up having the final funny line of the scene. I won't tell you what it is because it's a really funny scene with Mark Curry, and they let us play, which is also always so generous. The show is run by Bentley Evans, who in this world, and really, I think he came into fame from being the producer at Martin, and so or Martin, right? And so he's like, let them play. I don't care. So I had no lines. Ended up with one, ended up with two, and then ended up with the final funny line of the scene. So I want to talk to you tonight. There's always lessons in what I do, and lessons. I always look for the lessons in what I talk about so I can share it with you. Yes, this is a story of me telling you about what happened at work today on the show In the Cut for those of you coming in late. But the truth is that there's a beautiful lesson that I can share with you about assumptions. Well, it's really about assumptions and expectation, right? I assumed that I had nothing. I had no lines at all. Now, never mind, I'm still going to get paid. And a lot of people would go, I don't care, I'm getting paid. But I'm an artist, and an artist wants to work. An actress wants to act. I found out I had one line. I was like, well, I'm about to rock this line. They gave me that second line. I'm about to rock this second line. And in the end, I end up getting what we call the button, which is the final funny moment in a sitcom scene. It's the button. It's like the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I think it's called the button. I should know what it's called. It's just that final joke. And so I went to work assuming that I had none of that. And I ended up with all the things that you would want. I don't need all the lines. I just need to have a chance to be funny and use my art and do what I do. And so I want you to look in your life and look at how many times you had an assumption that things were going to turn out one way and it actually turned out another way. Or a time that you had an expectation that things would be a particular way and it turned out so much better than you thought it would. And, there's a funny thing about the word expectation. There are some people who believe that you should have low expectations, have no or low expectations. And those of you who are old enough will remember there was a sketch on Saturday Night Live, I would say in the 80s, probably late 70s and the 80s. And it was a character who had, I think it was like a dating app or something called Low Expectations. Like people just, it's all right. Life will be all right. I'm going to keep my expectations low. I don't think that that's how life should be. I actually saw this meme that said the reason why you have a bad relationship is you set your sights too high. You set your expectations too high. I disagree with that. I'm going to set my expectations on the moon. I'm going to set my expectations as high as I possibly can because that's how I get to dream. That's how I get to set big goals. Who wants to set low expectations? Who wants to have an assumption of failure? I mean, I'm using them interchangeably in this way. Who wants to hope that when you get to work, you got nothing to do? And you've got gifts inside to share. I don't know, is this resonating with any of you right now? I went to work thinking, okay, just assume that they don't have much for me to do. And I ended up with so much more. And what would my day have been like if I went to work excited for whatever was supposed to happen, expecting my highest good? And I have to check myself because the other day I did a live stream about what I learned for my birthday. I think yesterday I did a recap for my birthday. And one of the things I said is that I really work and live in that space of trying to have high expectations all the time. And then today I failed because I assumed that I wasn't going to have much to do. And I ended up having exactly what I was supposed to do. And so how many of you here have set your expectations low or assumed that things were not going to work out for you? I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to tell you an amazing story that really started very early in my career that really I should only ever have high, wonderful expectations. Even if sometimes things don't turn out the way you think they will, it's still better to have a good expectation or to hope or to assume that the best will happen. Hi, Alexandria. Hello, how are you? You totally agree. Right, Dean? You shoot for the moon. Wait, your comment went away so fast. You shoot for the moon, and you know that phrase, you shoot for the moon, and sometimes you land amongst the stars. That ain't so bad. I see you, Cherie. I see you. I see you. How are you? Thank you. I'm glad this is resonating with you all. I'm just being honest. Like I went to work assuming like whatever and had a great, great day and got off early. And got off early enough for me. Like it wasn't like a 10 p.m. shoot. It's all good. You all enjoying this? I'm good. Which award is that on the bookshelf? Where is it? Which side is it on? It's on this side. That is an NAACP Image Award. You want to see it up close? I'll get it. It is really heavy too. It's really heavy. Okay. It's really heavy. Okay, now I gotta come back to you. Hold on. Let me put it here. Hold on. I gotta scoot back to you. Hold on. Okay, I'm scooting. I've never taken it off my shelf to show it. It is an NAACP Image Award that I received for Living Single. 1 year, our show won. It was actually, I don't know what year it is. It's the 27th annual NAACP Image Awards. And Living Single, the show, won one. And so I got one. You really pay attention, don't you? So yeah, it's when I tell you it is heavy, I've used it as a door stopper. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it doesn't say what year, but it's the 27th annual. I'm pretty sure they're way up in the 30s or 40s by now. It would have been the 90s. It would have been probably 93, 94. I'm glad you asked. I didn't expect to win that night. We as a show, I take that back. I knew we were going to win. Actually, that night, Erica Alexander won as Best Actress. We were all nominated. All the girls on the show were nominated, and so was Atisha Campbell. I had hoped to win, but was really happy that Erica, who's one of my BFFs, she won. And I think the show won that night also. So I don't know that whether we hoped like who goes to an award show and says, I hope I don't win? Of course we expected to win. So I take back what I said. We expected to win and we did. All right. Isn't that nice? Okay, good. It's really heavy. A prized possession of mine. Thank you for asking, whoever that was. I am having a good night, Sherilyn. I'm having a really great night because I have high expectations in my life, and I hope you do too. I hope you have high expectations, high hopes. I'm going to tell you one more story that happened really, really. Oh, thank you, Clarence. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. There was something that happened early in my career. I should have known that I should never assume the worst. I should never worry. Like I worry. Like, who here worries? Do you worry? Even if I have positive vibes and all the good things, every once in a while I get worried, and I really should never worry. So I was booked to do what we call warm-up comedy on a show. And I'll tell you what show it was, although I do not want to cause a distraction. I do not want to cause a distraction when I tell you what show it was. In fact, I'm not going to even tell you what show it was because it will cause a big distraction because you're going to ask me questions and I don't have any answers. Okay. So I was called to be one of the warm-up comedians on this particular show, and it was shot in New York, and it was a really coveted position because warm-up comedians, if you've ever gone to see a show live, their job is to keep the audience engaged and laughing and energetic in between the scenes of a show. And I got called to do this. I was really green. I was really new in my comedy. And there was a comedian, a beautiful comedian that I know, Angela Scott, who was already there doing the job. And they asked me to come in and sort of help her out, to sort of, tag team. I assumed the worst. I assumed that she was going to hate me. I assumed that she was going to, try to sabotage me. I assumed that because this was her territory. Why was this young girl coming in here? And she was good at what she did. Like, why are they bringing in? I was afraid that she was going to think that I was trying to steal her shine or something. Like, those of you old enough to remember the movie All About Eve with, Bette Davis and, somebody tell me who that's with. Bette Davis and Oh gosh, somebody come and tell me who was like, she was a younger actress and she was trying to steal Betty Davis's part. It wasn't Seinfeld, no, because Seinfeld was actually shot in Los Angeles. Nope. I'm not going to tell you what it was because it will distract you. Okay, it was The Cosby Show. There, said it. The Cosby Show. So we're talking like the late 80s. Ann Baxter. I love you, Bertha. I love you. So there was a movie called All About Eve where Ann Baxter plays this younger actress, who tries to take over Betty Davis's life. Oh, it's so good. And I was afraid that Angela Scott was going to think that I was Ann Baxter, that I was trying to steal her shine, which I couldn't have because I had maybe 30 minutes of material. I actually really respected Angela, but I began thinking the worst, and I don't think I had met her yet. I began assuming the worst, and I was really nervous, and I didn't sleep the night before, and here it was, I was being gifted with this incredible position to go and perform. And I had my back up a little bit, like, just in case she's mean to me, I know what I'm going to say. But I ain't big and bad. There's nothing big and bad about me. If she tries to step on my toes, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to act big and tough. I remember arriving and going to the front desk, and they gave me my little name tag, and I took an elevator somewhere, and she was there to greet me. She was warm, she was kind, she was generous, and she said to me, we're going to have so much fun today. So tell me how you want to do this. Do you want me to perform 15 minutes and then you do 15 minutes? Do you want us to tag team and play? What I'll do is I'll listen to some of your jokes and then I'll add on top of it, and I want you to listen. Like, she couldn't have been more lovely. She was opening up the door for me to say, I know this is my territory, but you're the youngin'. Come on in and play with me. Let's have some fun. She couldn't have been more delightful and joyful, and was really an example of how you should be. You should be gracious to all because you never know. And we became friends that day, and I always appreciated it. I don't know if I've ever even told her how big of an impact that was on me, that she didn't have to be that way. That was her territory. She didn't have to accept me, especially since comedy can be so competitive. She was lovely and set out the red carpet for me. So I assumed I was going to have a horrible day. I had low expectations for how she was going to treat me, and it couldn't have turned out better. It couldn't have been more wonderful. Now, I'll tell the truth. I didn't last very long. Because I was too new. I didn't belong on a show where I have to do comedy for 3 or 4 hours. I could do that today. I could not have done it like 1 year into my career. I think they asked me to come back one other time, and it was a bad fit, but it wasn't because she treated me poorly. It wasn't even because anybody thought that I was rotten. I just wasn't ready. And so it's just a story that I love to tell about the assumptions I had about, she was going to be tough on me. She actually opened up the doors. And in fact, later on, recommended me to go perform at a club that she used to perform in, and they said yes to me. So don't assume the worst. You know that thing that they say about assuming. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Don't assume. Have the highest expectations. Expect your unexpected good all the time, and you will be magically surprised, and it builds confidence, and it's a really happy way to live, I think. All right, I'll stop and look at some of the comments. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Sisterhood. Oh, Swarthy, how are you? Hello, Swarthy Daisy. Yes, she was a true sister to me, and she's a sister, and she was a sister. And she didn't have to be. And she could have been pleasant and it still would have been okay. Do you know what I'm saying? She was warming. This is where we go for lunch. Let me show you where the bathrooms are. Let me know if you need some help. Was delightful. And really set a tone that, listen, I like I said, there's so many of us that live in a world that we think is competitive. The truth is you have allies everywhere. You just seek them out, form your alliances, and joyfully help each other. Joyfully help each other. It was so wonderful. It was sisterhood. How are you, Swarthy? We haven't talked in a really, really long time. Robert says, everyone feels your spirit when you're around, Kim, and that's what the energy fills the room and everyone loves. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Can I share one secret and I'll let you all go? Your life will be so wonderful if you guard that joy with every fiber of your being. I guard my joy and my light like there's a pit bull in front of it, like joy, love, light. I cannot let anybody steal my joy. It's not possible for anyone to steal your joy anyway, if you keep it intact and put a little pit bull in front of it. Protection, protect your joy, protect your light, protect the love that you have, protect your gifts. They're yours. Protect them and share them with the world. And sometimes you have to take risks. And I talked about that yesterday too. Sometimes you have to open your heart and take risks, but know that there is protection around you. And the protection is, as people say, the God of your understanding. It's the source. It's your creator. It's God. It's the universe. Protect it as the beautiful jewel that it is. So thank you for that. I be protecting my joy. And if it goes away for a little bit, which sometimes it does because life interferes, I should say it goes away. I say it gets murky, or sometimes the dog is asleep. I'm like, doggy, you're supposed to be awake, protecting my joy. And you know what the little dog is? It's actually, like I said, source, and it's meditation, and it's connecting to source. Connecting to source keeps that protection up. Okay. All right. This was a lot. Was this a lot? I was not going to talk for 21 minutes. I swear. I was like, I've had a long day doing my 3 lines in one scene. I had leftover makeup, and the lashes are wonderful. You know, you get to take the lashes home because they're on your eyeballs. They can't give them to anybody else. So I've got like an extra pair of lashes. I am not taking them home, taking them to work tomorrow. They'll put on a fresh pair of lashes. So I get to keep these. Yeah, Tanya, she is a sister, Angela Scott. Look her up. She's funny, she's kind, and she was a friend when, even if she had just been polite, it would have been plenty. And instead, she did all the things. Hi, Angela. So here's the deal. I love when Deltas think that I am their soror. Happy Founders Day to you, and I look good in red, but I am not a Delta. So here's what had happened. One day, years ago, I did an event for the Deltas, and I think someone put me on the list because Kim Whitley is a Delta. And people often confuse Kim Whitley and Kim Coles. So I'm on the list as a Delta, and I am not. I look beautiful in red, but I'm not one of your sorors, but Kim Whitley is. So if you could tell the Deltas somehow, and I've been saying it for years, because I don't like misrepresenting myself. I don't like people to think that I'm their soror. I'm not. Happy Founders Day to you, even though I'm not your soror, but I am your sister nonetheless. Thank you. Kim Whitley is the Delta. People confuse us. You'd be surprised. I cannot roller skate, Serena. I don't need to be on wheels ever. I need to keep feet on the ground. I cannot roller skate. I roller skated once. I fell down once, and then my job was to watch the purses. There's a roller skating rink that's no longer in Brooklyn. It was the I can't think of it. The Empire. I think it's Empire Roller Skating Rink. I can't think of the name of it. It was really a hot spot back in the day. I fell down once, and I said, I'm just going to watch everybody's purses. I'll be in the center section watching your purses. Give me your purses. I will be watching the purses. And I did a fine job. Yeah, I don't roller skate. Thank you. You were a child when I came to St. Stephen's Episcopal Church. So yeah, my dad was what's the word I'm looking for? My dad was an Episcopal priest, and he didn't become an Episcopal priest until his late 60s, and he was at St. Stephen's. So hi, how are you? So I'm a PK, but I didn't become a PK until I was already grown. So I'm like a PK light. Yay. Dean Jr. says, make this a daily show. Well, Dean, funny you should say that. I've been going live every day since December 29th or December 30th. And my team, who's watching, has made me make a commitment to you to go live every day, at least until the 31st of January. So this is a daily show just for you, sir, or ma'am. Dean, I'm assuming is a gentleman. I don't know, maybe. Loving my hair. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, I'm going to let you all go and have the rest of your evening or the rest of your day. Maybe you're watching the replay. If this was fun for you, if this was interesting for you, if you think this should be a show like Dean does, then share this with a friend, because Facebook will encourage me to make this into a show. Let's make this into a show. Why not? It's just me and my books and my NAACP Image Award. I'd like to accept this award on behalf of all of the people who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I have high expectations that I'm going to win even more of these, and it's not about the awards. Although you do get to wear pretty dresses and lots of Spanx. That's all the award show really is about. Peace and blessings. All the best to all of you. Yeah, we should create a comedy TV show starting together. So thank you for that. Actually, Kim Whitley and I did a live comedy show in Los Angeles every Tuesday for about 18 months. She is hysterical. And together we're really, really funny. And what happens is when we do comedy together, when we're on stage together, we become like the Odd Couple. So those of you who know the Odd Couple, there was Felix and Oscar. So when we're together, she becomes very Oscar and I become very Felix. And it's hysterical. And we often have the same hair, which is really kind of fun. All right. You want to see the books on my shelf? There's so many there, Liz. And I've only read 10% of 10 of them. Well, 30% of 40 of them. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. Don't forget, like I said, just assume the best, expect the best, believe in the possibilities in your life, and you may be surprised and delighted. I went to work thinking I had no lines. I ended up with 3 and the biggest laugh at the end of the scene. Well, I shouldn't say the biggest laugh, but the laugh at the end. That's not a bad day. It's not a bad day for one scene's worth of work and a free set of lashes. Have a wonderful evening. I love each and every one of you, and I will be back. Oh, I will be back tomorrow night because the love is real. Whoa. Take good care. Bye. How do I stop this crazy thing? Bye. Oh, and whoever that was, thank you. Ann Baxter, thank you. I'm going to go watch that tonight. It's such a good movie. All about Eve.